Hello, Monica.
Hi, Jamie.
So thank you so much for coming in today. Let's start by taking a couple of those breaths together that we worked on. So I'm just going to have you go ahead and breathe. Very nice, and I'll follow along. And whenever you're ready, you can gently blink the eyes open. So what are you noticing just overall?
I feel pretty calm. My stomach feels a little bit jumpy, but otherwise pretty calm. Shoulders relaxed.
Okay. So I'd like to go over one of the preparation exercises we talked about last time, the light stream exercise. And actually, we can work with that jumpiness in the stomach. Is that okay with you? A little bit with this? All right, so I think it's awesome you notice that your shoulders are kind of eased a little bit. So let's just take a breath or so and notice that. And then what I'll do here is invite you to notice the stomach where you describe the jumpiness. And then I'll ask you a few questions here about it. You can give me as much or as little detail as you like. So if that experience in your stomach had a color, what color would it be?
Red.
Does it have a shape?
It's just pointy.
Okay. So going along with pointy, is there any kind of texture that you might describe to this experience?
Sharp.
Okay. Is there a temperature?
Warm or almost hot.
Warm, almost hot. All right. And some people get really detailed here, like is there a smell? Is there a sound?
No.
Okay. A taste that you might notice in your mouth when you touch into that?
I don't think this is a taste, but that like upset stomach, you can kind of feel it in your stomach, but it moves kind of up here.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to have you take a moment, and I won't keep you here forever, but just notice that that's in your body. And then we'll move into the visual, the light stream. So you can close your eyes or keep them open for this part of this. I'm not going to apply the stimulation we went over just yet. So let's go with the first part of the visual, and then we'll check in. All right, so staying with those breaths. I'd like you to notice, Monica, that some type of bright and healing light is beginning to form overhead. And if you don't like the idea of light, you could think of it as a color, an essence, an energy. Whatever you choose, I encourage you to really notice the color. Something that you describe as healing. Something you may associate with goodness and healing. And when you're ready, what are you noticing? Much or as little detail?
So the color is moving sort of as the energy does, and it looks almost like, there's some light to it in the sense of maybe what it looks like when the sun's rising, and then there's blue to it, so then over the ocean. So all of those colors are kind of moving together.
Okay. Would you say it's overall a pleasant or good association? All right. So I'm going to have you just continue to be aware of that. And then when you're ready, I'll invite you to open your eyes and follow my fingers. just to strengthen that connection. Nice deep breath. What are you noticing now?
A sense of calm. My stomach doesn't feel like it hurts as much, and overall my body just feels a little more relaxed.
Okay, so let's keep noticing that relaxation. But now I'm going to invite you to think about this light. I will work with it even more. Either moving through your body or over your body. Now people have a choice. Sometimes they like both, that it's moving through and over.
Yeah.
What's your sense of what might feel pleasant in this visual?
I would try both.
Okay, so I'll continue to guide you here. So as you breathe, staying with the light, I'd like you to imagine that this light is now moving both through your body and over your body. With your breath, see if you can allow the light to move inch by inch from your head to your neck, down your arms, through your chest, into your stomach. And then maybe down each leg. You can also notice the back too. And then maybe notice the light move into your feet. And notice your feet connected to the ground. What are you noticing now?
Calm, relaxed, a little bit warm, but in a good way, like you're just sort of snugly warm, like you're noticing your body's temperature.
All right, so I'm going to invite you into another set with the eye movements, just to notice all of that.
Okay.
Breath. What are you noticing now?
Same thing, my stomach doesn't hurt at all, so that's really nice.
Let's just notice that. That's really nice. Your stomach doesn't hurt at all. Breath. What are you getting now?
I liked the feeling of having them both move through, but then also around. That felt sort of safe and comforting.
Cool. Let's work with that a little bit more before we do another set. So notice safe, notice comforting. And in addition to the color, or the color blend of this light, I'd invite you to sense in and notice, are there any other sensory details? Like, does the light have a texture? Maybe there's a sound that comes with it. Maybe there's even a temperature. So all these details are fair game. So you can either tell me or just let yourself notice.
delightful. It feels, like I said before, calm and relaxing, but also just a little bit energizing in a good way.
Yeah.
Really present.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we do a set to strengthen that? All right. Just notice. What are you noticing now?
Same thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I would invite you to just check back in with the stomach where we began. What are you observing?
It feels neutral, just like it feels like any other
Okay.
body part.
Can you notice neutral?
Yeah.
Right. What are you getting now?
Calm. Just it feels all the same. So that's nice.
Cool. Just two more things here to
Yeah.
maybe amp this up even a little more. Could you imagine that light present in your stomach?
Yeah.
Maybe filling it up. Yeah, let's go with that. Right.
That felt really soothing.
Cool. So one of two things here. I would invite you, and this is optional, can you either put a word or a phrase on this light or this experience, or maybe even a positive affirmation? Just something you can bring up to cue yourself that I would like this light when you leave here at some point.
I'm bad at this.
There's no such thing as being good or bad at it. We can skip this part. I'm just offering you the option.
I think just even calling it light stream works
Cool.
for me. Yeah.
So let's wrap up with that.
Okay.
So let's just hold light stream, that phrase, together with your visual,
Yeah.
your experience in your body right now. And let's hold it all together. Breath. What are you getting now?
Same feelings.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's wrap this up with just maybe three more nice breaths. I'll follow your pace. So any questions about your experience? Anything you want to check in about?
So, when do I do this?
Really, whenever you feel you need it has been my experience. And I realize some places in life may feel like you have more time, like maybe before you go to bed at night, maybe after a hard day of work as a way to maybe notice, how did work affect me today? Be present to that in your body. Some other places in life it may not feel like you have as much time, because we took about 10-12 minutes to really do this. And there you can think of it more like a quick, all right, I'm bringing up that phrase light stream. What am I noticing? Think of the light going through the body. And you really want to think of it as something you could use to help ease any tension, unless there's any other applications you can think of it. to use.
No, that sounds great.
Yeah, and I like how you even noted that there was an energizing experience at one point, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have you just keep trialing and erroring with it out there in life, and then next session we'll check in and see how it goes.